heart of Madhya Pradesh, where the Vindhyan hills lean back to whisper secrets to the sky, lies Panna, a realm where the earth does not merely exist, but breathes in rhythmic, emerald sighs. This is not just a forest. It is a living tapestry woven from the threads of ancient stone, silver water, and the amber gaze of the wild. In the monsoon, they are a lush, impenetrable emerald. In the winter, they turn a burnt sienna, the leaves of the teak and tendu trees crackling like parchment under the weight of the morning dew. The mist is the forest's breath. It rolls over the undulating hills, softening the sharp edges of the acacias and wrapping the ghost trees, the kulu, in a ghostly luminescence. Their white bark gleams through the haze, standing like skeletal sentinels guarding the path to the interior. To enter Panna Tiger Reserve is to step through a veil where time slows to the pace of a flowing river, and the heartbeat of the land is felt beneath one's feet. The architecture of the earth, Plateaus and Gorges Panna, is a land of dramatic verticality, a place defined by its grand tiered plateaus that rise like the altars of forgotten gods. These flat-topped highlands baked by the Indian sun give way suddenly and breathlessly to deep, jagged gorges. The landscape is a masterpiece of geological patience, where the Ken River has spent eons carving a path through the stubborn Vindhyan sandstone. Looking down into the gorge is like peering into the very soul of the earth. The sheer rock faces, stained with the ochre and rust of oxidized minerals, plunge hundreds of feet to the valley floor. Here, the mist clings to the crevices like a silken shroud, rising in the early morning to blur the lines between the solid stone and the ethereal air. It is a world of shadows and echoes, where the sound of a distant waterfall becomes a haunting melody that resonates against the canyon walls. The misty forest, a symphony of green. As the sun crests the undulating hills, the forest awakens in a slow, misty dance. The dry, deciduous woods of Panna possess a haunting beauty. As the light filters through this vaporous curtain, it breaks into 1,000 golden needles, illuminating the spider web strung between the branches and turning the simple act of a bird taking flight into a cinematic marvel. The royal shadow, the tiger's reign. Within this mist moves a ghost of a different kind, the Bengal tiger. In Panna, the tiger is more than an apex predator. It is a symbol of resurrection. To see a tiger here is to witness a miracle of conservation, a flame that was once extinguished and now burns brighter than ever. The tiger moves through the tall amber grasses of the plateaus with a fluid, terrifying grace. Its stripes are the shadows of the forest made flesh. When it emerges from the thickets of the gorge, the very air seems to thicken with tension. The langur monkeys offer a frantic staccato of alarm calls from the canopy, and the sambar deer stands frozen, a statue of bronze. Its nostrils flare to catch the scent of the predator. To lock eyes with a Panna tiger is to understand the raw, unadorned power of nature, a gaze that is both beautiful and humbling, a reminder of a world that owes nothing to civilization. The chorus of the wild. But the tiger is the king of a crowded court. The plateaus are home to the elegant nilgai, the blue bulls of India, who roam the scrublands with a quiet dignity. In the shadows of the rocks, the sloth bear lumbers, its shaggy black coat a stark contrast to the sun-bleached stones. Near the water's edge, where the Ken River shimmers like a fallen ribbon of mercury, the prehistoric mugger crocodile and the long-snouted gharial bask on sandbanks, remnants of a reptilian past. The bird life is a kaleidoscopic explosion. The paradise flycatcher, with its trailing white ribbons of tail feathers, darts through the shadows like a falling star. The Indian vulture circles high above, their silhouettes etched sharply against the cerulean sky. The Vulture Point, the cathedral of the sky. Perhaps the most soul-stirring vista in all of Panna is the Vulture Point. Located on the edge of a soaring plateau, this is a place where the earth ends and the sky begins. From this precipice, one looks out over a vast, yawning chasm through which the Ken River winds its serpentine path. The cliffs here are the ancestral nesting grounds of several species of vultures: the long-billed, the white-rumped, and the king vulture. To stand at Vulture Point is to be at eye level with these magnificent scavengers. They launch themselves from the thermal currents, their massive wingspans catching the updrafts as they soar over the abyss. There is a profound, lonely beauty at this height. The wind whistles through the dry grass, and the only other sound is the distant rush of water far below. It is a place of perspective where the human scale feels infinitesimally small against the backdrop of the ancient gorge and the endless horizon.
Bird calls float longer, and every breath smells of damp earth and leaves. The landscape feels ancient and intimate, as if the forest itself is leaning in to whisper its stories.
A mesmerizing legacy. Panna is a place of transitions, where the plateau meets the gorge, where the mist meets the sun, and where the silence of the stone meets the roar of the tiger. At night, under a canopy of stars that burn with a fierce primeval light, the river becomes a mirror for the cosmos. The stars dance on the ripples, and the nocturnal calls of the nightjars and owls create a lullaby for the sleeping wilderness. It is a landscape that demands reverence. It teaches us about the fragility of life and the incredible resilience of the wild.
Bengal tiger relaxing with cubs in the tall grass. In a hidden clearing, tall grass bends under the weight of a Bengal tiger at rest. Her coat glows faintly through the mist, each stripe dissolving into the pale morning light. At dawn, Panna Jungle awakens like a half-remembered dream. Winter drapes the forest in cold silver mist, softening the sandstone cliffs, the teak and dock trees, and the winding veins of the Ken River. Sound travels differently here in the chill. Hoofbeats seem closer. Bird calls float longer, and every breath smells of damp earth and leaves. Misty winter becomes a symbol of precision, reminding the forest that survival often belongs to those who master silence and speed rather than size. Monkeys, Indian macaque healing, playing, and relaxing in the jungle. High in the canopy and along sun-dappled rocks, Indian macaques gather in loose, animated communities. The cold morning draws them close together, and grooming becomes a ritual of warmth. Young macaques leap between branches, chase one another in dizzying spirals, and test their courage with daring jumps. Elders lounge nearby, eyes half-lidded, absorbing the gentle chaos. Laughter, almost human in its cadence, rings through the trees. In Panna, the macaques embody the forest's lighter pulse, proving that survival is sustained not only by strength, but by joy and social harmony. The landscape feels ancient and intimate, as if the forest itself is leaning in to whisper its stories. In this quiet, life moves not with urgency, but with a deep rhythmic confidence shaped by centuries of survival. Elsewhere, moving like a thought rather than a body, the jungle cat slips through undergrowth beaded with dew. Smaller than the jungle's giants, yet no less commanding, it carries an air of sharp intelligence.
In one corner of the reserve, the air feels different, less like a hunting ground and more like a sanctuary. This is the domain of T151. While tigers are often romanticized as solitary, ruthless killers, T151 is currently dismantling that stereotype for every mesmerized traveler who crosses her path. Accompanied by her two subadult female cubs, T151 represents the softer side of the feline world. These cubs, now reaching the size where they mirror their mother's powerful silhouette, still cling to the comforts of infancy. The sightings here are characterized by a profound sense of family. Safari vehicles often come to a hushed halt as they witness T151 engaged in chuffing. A soft, snorting sound used as a greeting. The Bond T151 is frequently seen grooming her daughters.
Bengal tiger relaxing with cubs in the tall grass. In a hidden clearing, tall grass bends under the weight of a Bengal tiger at rest. Her coat glows faintly through the mist, each stripe dissolving into the pale morning light. Around her, cubs tumble and pause, their movements clumsy yet fearless. They press against her flank, seeking warmth and reassurance, while she remains alert even in repose, ears flicking, eyes half closed but aware of every rustle. The grass becomes both cradle and curtain, concealing this intimate family moment from the wider jungle. The cubs test their world in small ways, nipping at blades of grass, pouncing on invisible foes, then collapsing in soft heaps of striped fur. The tigress responds with a low, calming rumble, a sound that vibrates through the earth itself. This is not the drama of the hunt, but something rarer, a portrait of peace. In the cold mist, strength expresses itself not through violence, but through patience, protection, and the quiet act of letting the young simply be.
The highlight for visitors, however, is the cuddling. It is a rare, evocative sight, a 1,000-pound collective of muscle and claw reduced to a pile of orange and black fur. Her rough tongue smoothing their coats, reinforcing a social bond that will sustain them until they find their own territories. The daughters, though nearly adult, still nuzzle into their mother's neck, seeking the reassurance that only a matriarch can provide. For the observer, it is a reminder that the jungle is built on more than just the hunt. It is built on the strength of the maternal pulse. The young male cub already shows signs of the massive frame he will one day inhabit, displaying a bolder, more inquisitive nature compared to his sisters. clock is ticking for this family unit. In the world of the tiger, 18 months is the traditional threshold of adulthood. This period of staying together is a high-stakes internship. Soon, the biological urge for territory will outweigh the comfort of the family. Separation. Within the coming months, T141 will begin to distance herself. Pushing her cubs to claim their own patches of the forest. To see T151 and T141 in the same season is to see the full spectrum of a tiger's life cycle. One shows us the emotional depth and the nurturing core required to raise a cub in a world of predators. The other shows us the rigorous discipline needed to ensure those cubs survive once they are alone. As these subadults grow, the jungle prepares for a shift. The cubs of today are the kings and queens of tomorrow. For the travelers who watch them play in the dust or shadow their mother through the tall grass, these sightings are a fleeting privilege. A moment of raw, unscripted natural history that will stay with them for long.
Mornings are not just a season, but a state of mind where power rests softly and every creature, from tiger to macaque, plays its part in an ancient breathing tapestry. To witness Panna in this mood is to understand that the wild is not only about drama and danger, but also about stillness, family, learning, and the poetry of coexistence.
The Samar deers begin their ancient rite. Massive stags, crowned with branching antlers that seem carved from midnight thunder, move like living shadows through the undergrowth. Their breath curls into luminous spirals that catch the first hesitant rays of light, turning each exhale into a whispered invocation. They do not rush. They circle. They pause. They listen to the secret language of heartbeats echoing between ancient banyus, waiting for that one resonant frequency. Their meeting is no collision, but a slow convergence of gravity. Necks arching in perfect symmetry, breaths mingling until the air between them becomes a living, warm veil. They stand motionless for hours, antlers almost touching, while fireflies trace constellations upon their fur and the forest holds its breath in reverence. this suspended eternity, the Samar deers do not merely choose a mate, they remember each other. They remember across lifetimes, across the turning of countless seasons.
The Masterclass T141 and the Path to Independence. Across the ridges and dry nullahs, a different kind of education is unfolding. T141 is a tigress of focused intent. She is currently trailed by 3 subadult cubs, 1 male and 2 females. If T151 is the cuddler, T141 is the professor. Her cubs have reached a critical juncture in their lives. They are no longer mere spectators, they are apprentices in the lethal art of survival. Visitors watching T141 often notice a distinct formation. The mother leads, her white ear spots, ocelli, acting as follow-me signals for the trio behind her. They move with a synchronized grace, learning to step on stones rather than dry leaves to mask their approach. Hunting skills. These cubs are at the age where they transition from watching their mother kill to participating in the stalk. They observe how she uses the wind direction and the contour of the land to get within striking distance of a spotted deer. For the observer, it is a reminder that the jungle is built on more than just the hunt. It is built on the strength of the maternal pulse.